doing live music videos was um, an idea that had been floating around for a little while. Me and Emmy discussed it. I showed him some ideas that I've seen that already kind of exist, and he was like, "Yeah, we could totally do that."
It was it was a pretty dope idea. We got a chance to do something different, and I will be 100% honest. I don't remember the first time we talked about it because we talked about it so much, but it was a great idea at the time, and it turned out to be really freaking great idea. All in all, and it was something new, something we haven't done, and it was a dope experience overall.
It's something that we had talked about before. He had sent me the link to a couple of different styles of kind of performance video, music video esque things like that. And I always thought that all of them were really cool ideas, but it was always we were in the mindset of like, how can we put our own twist on this? And so when we kind of figured it out, and then we all slept on it, and he kind of established the idea of what it would be moving forward. It was pretty much, let's just do this. Let's go. It's a great idea. We've got the resources available, so let's just go balls to the wall with it.
It was exciting. It's something I've never done before. I've only done one other music video prior to this, and it definitely wasn't live. This is very very different experience. But I was very very open to it.
And we were able to get the resources to do so, to create the backgrounds and everything like that. And of course, we had the audio equipment here in the studio. We just transferred it to the location, just being the garage. So we did all this from a garage. Had Jordan come through, his company Shiburado Video. Shout out to them.
I've been wanting to try and like direct a whole bunch of like different projects since starting Shiburado, and I filmed Matt's music video, Rose Hips Herbal Essence, and that was a cool experience, just like editing wise and going to different places and shooting. With this project, it was a lot more. I honestly didn't know like what the whole setup was gonna be. All I got was a call from Matt saying, "Hey, me and Jasu want your help with this thing. Do you think you can do it?" I'm like, I just said, "Yeah, right there."
Um, he was able to come through, set up the camera angles, do all that, and record himself. Um, so it was really dope, and the idea of doing it really just fit in. Everything kind of just aligned, and we were able to pull it off. So the idea of doing live music videos was interesting. It was going to be a challenge, but at the same time, we knew we could pull it off. So fuck it, Reinvented Music's gonna try to do something with it. So that's what we did.
The title of Pandora's Box, it's actually something that we spent a lot of time coming up with. It was me, Jasu, and Matt Bars. I don't think Emmy was there. But the three of us, we were all just trying to brainstorm ideas for, like what we could call this. Because we had the idea, we had like, the foundation laid for it, and we just spent a lot of time on the title.
Pandora's Box to me is just like it's opening up into each of ours perspective on our own music. You know, Pandora's Box as a myth, as a legend, is all the sins of the world being opened up and being seen. So I think it's kind of like all of our inner thoughts and all of our who we are as a person just being out there for the public to see.
It means a piece of my mind in all reality.
I like that. Poetic. Pandora's Box. Pandora's Box means a lot. Definitely come this far in my career. Now we're teaming up with Shiburado Video, and we're able to put these things together now. And at first, I didn't think that something like this would be in the development. We've done a lot of things now. We have multiple people on the same label. We started a clothing company. We have a media company in the juice box. So it's dope. It's dope. We're definitely like a timestamp in the times table of what we've done as a label. So it means a lot, honestly, that we're able to pull this off. So it came out great. Shout out to Jordan once again, and yeah, I mean I can't say more than that. It means a lot.
And so, it was one of the ideas that we tossed around, and it was the one that stuck. Uh, and I think it stuck because, with regards to the other members of Reinvented Music, it's like we're unleashing Pandora's box, the mythological story or whatever, letting it loose basically. Whereas in my regard, because I recently announced my retirement, I think it means more so I'm letting out the last of everything that I've got. I've come so far. I've worked so hard to get to where I am, and now I'm letting everything that I have left in the tank. I'm just letting it loose.
Delivering Pop Tarts for BuzzFeed, part 2.
Well, okay, superhero. That was the first song I did. It literally means what it means. I need a superhero to save me from myself because, like my name suggests, I am my own worst enemy. I am the one who brings myself down, and I criticize myself too much, and I stop my workflow, and I also encourage myself at the same time. And the second one was strange because, let's face it, we're all a little weird in one way or another. Nightmares, well, self explanatory. And the other one is Enemy's Revenge, which explains the fact that I'm done playing nice with people, and I've had plenty of people criticize me, and then when we got the ball rolling, everybody turns out like, hey, can I have some of that? Yeah, no. That's why I chose the songs I did. The inspirations behind my background, I grew up in a European ghetto. So graffiti is something we did a lot. And that's a lot of almost everything that was around us. I like graffiti because it's, for one, it's an element of hip hop. Two, it's pure expression. It's people trying to color the bland decor of their day by day life. That's how I look at it. The background itself was covered with words that mean different mindsets like anxiety, love, mindsets or feelings, my bad. Anxiety, love, drive, determination, hatred, death, life, which is, again, an amalgam of different states that my mind goes through every single minute. And the outfit, well, was to contrast the fact that for everything that exists, there's also an opposite. That's why there's the black background and there was my white outfit.
I'll leave you in the past, but deep down inside I know it's really not true, cause I love the pain so much that I'm stuck in the loop.
You don't want me here, you don't want me near, so I guess, my dear. I start off Pandora's Box with Cherry Juice, and that's because I knew I wanted to do a classic. And Cherry Juice to me is, not only has it been one of my most consistent, performing songs as far as, streams go and, just people listening to it, but it also seemed like kind of like a dark horse because, when we do like live shows and performances and everything, we're kind of more limited in regards to what the songs we can do are. So we call them performance tracks. I know that that's probably a pretty common term, but Cherry Juice isn't necessarily a live performance track, but it's always a song that I've wanted to perform at, like, an open mic night or some shit like that. So I figured this would be the perfect opportunity to perform it in a different capacity than just having it on all the streaming platforms and everything. And what it means to me personally, I think that song is the epitome of my storytelling. I've had a lot of storytelling tracks with other artists, with myself, and songs like Bonnie and Clyde and stuff. But to me, that is the one that stands out above the rest, just because of the process that went into making that song like that. So I won't go into too much detail, but basically it was a short story that I wrote that I turned into a song, and I think that's why it's structured so well, and it's so, not to be tooting my own horn or anything, but poetic and beautiful. Again, I know that sounds arrogant, but yeah, so that song's just always had a special place in my heart. It's one of my favorites, and it's definitely a classic, so I figured it definitely had to be in there. And then after that is Secret Window. Secret Window is probably my favorite song that I have made post aspiring rapper. Just because of the raw emotion that goes into it, the you know, the way that I inflect my voice in the different verses and show that I'm kind of like breaking down more and more with each verse. You know, it's just always been one of my favorite songs that I've done, you know, in my whole career, let alone, you know, after aspiring rapper. Not only that, but I never really talked about it before, but it was one of the last songs that I wrote before me and my fiance broke up last year. Um, and you know, it really reflected where I was at in that point in time. So I think it was important to me personally because, you know, I was able to not only verbally but physically and, you know, emotionally portray where I was at in that point in time, and I was able to allow all of those emotions to come to the surface when performing that song. And then the last song, I was so excited to show you guys. And then by the time this comes out, it'll be available on all streaming platforms. Another stupid little love song. So this one I think is probably it's in my top 5 songs that I've ever done, just because of how different it is for my style personally. Like, it fits perfectly into my style, but it's not something that I've ever really done before. I maybe not done before, but executed well before, because you know, it is kind of like every what's that fucking song called? Every Last Goodbye. Yeah, that song sucks. But you know, so I got real melodic with it, and you know, it's just catchy. It's just a really feel good song, and I knew I wanted to end it on a high note, but also you know, kind of keep the same theme of like heartbreak and, you know, kind of just the sad boy style for this performance. So I figured it would be a perfect way to wrap it up. And I figured it would be, you know, the best song to preview off of the album for, you know, you guys, the fans, because, you know, it's probably the most upbeat and catchy song on the album, which I very much look forward to you guys hearing. So some of the ideas that we had bounced around before we had finally settled on what we were going to do with Pandora's Box moving forward was like going out into different places within, you know, Colorado Springs and Denver. And so my original thought was to go to a botanical gardens, or, you know, like a butterfly enclosure or some shit like that. And, you know, doing my performance in there. But so when we decided that we were just going to have like the walls and just, you know, pretty much put our personality up on display, you know, the roses was pretty much an obvious choice for me. Anything else I think would have been not necessarily a disappointment, just different and weird, especially because, you know, obviously my last album is going to be a Withered sequel. So yeah, that one was pretty much just an obvious choice for me. I knew I wanted, you know, white walls with the red roses on there. And then the rose petals at the end was a very nice touch too.
I agree. I wonder who threw those.
So in case you, the viewer, have not picked up on it by now, I really like roses. It's my favorite flower. It's one of my favorite things. So, you know, my outfit was fresh as fuck. You know, I had the button up with the rose petals all over it. You know, the hat had a rose on it. I don't know if you could tell, but it kind of went hand in hand with like my style and the image that I've created for myself over the years, while also, you know, I've never had something that was that popped that much, I guess, if that makes sense. You know, especially against the white background with the red roses and everything, having the dark shirt with the roses really stuck out. So, you know, I'm really happy that I went with that choice. You know, it didn't take too much thought to put into it, because I just, you know, looked up, you know, rose t-shirt or rose button up or whatever. But yeah, so it went hand in hand with like the image that I've created for myself over the years, while also, you know, staying true to the withered and wilted aesthetic of it.
Into a paradise. Now we lost in the woods, sweaters with the hoods. When the world gone bad, but we still acting good. Learn to love who you are, just like you should. Or get lost in the dark of the redwoods.
The 3 songs I picked, they're all from my new album, Burgundy's Navy Red, or my newest album. And they were all just my different growth as an artist, all written at different times. First one was just to get people into the flow of things. Second one was to show people what I can do, and then third one is probably my the most different out of the 3, the most visually different and the most when it came to sound. Um, and it was just to show like my growth over time as an artist and who I've become. Oh, my background. It's actually the whole background is an Easter egg to my music video I did with Jordan. Um, Everything that was in that background was in the Rose Hips video. So I was like, why not fucking bring it all in and just kind of bring it full circle? And then of course uh, the burgundy color is just, you know, burgundy is navy red. Bring back reference to the album. And then the navy blue roses also ties into the first album, being that the cover itself is navy blue. And then yeah, like all the tapestries and stuff, that's just my home decorations. Like everything I got in there, I didn't pay for shit. It's just all stuff I put in my house. Shit I got hanging up on my walls now. It's super easy.
My thoughts, my views, the rent past due. I did fondue. I am on to the next pursuit. Don't think, just do. Live life, make move. Do not construe. All right, so the songs I chose Make Moves, I Can't Breathe, Insane, and Not Phased. The reason I chose those was Make Moves is a classic, well, classic for the fans anyways. And I figured I had never performed it live before, so I figured this would be the best opportunity for me to kind of perform it live, give the audience a view of what it would be like live, so to speak. I Can't Breathe is an obvious one. It's a statement, and yeah, I don't need to speak no more on that one. Insane was my most recent hit, so I decided that, you know what, I would go ahead and do Insane, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Just because it's new and fresh, and I wanted to perform it. Like, really, that's the only reason. And Not Phase was more like me letting loose and allowing myself to be reminded by myself that everything comes at a price, and no matter what, I'm not gonna get phased. I'm gonna keep pushing, no matter how people look at this experience based how we think it should turn out. Doesn't matter. I am however many people see this, they see it, and however many people like it. However many people hate it, they hate it. This is just like a moment in time for me, and I'm not phased by any of the bullshit, and I'm just gonna keep it fucking going. And yeah, that's pretty much the gist of the actual meaning of the song and why I chose it. So there you go. The inspiration behind my background, kind of corny. My dream, I guess my overall dream is to just make it as a rap star and be able to make a living off of it and provide for my family with it. That comes with a house, right? Hence the house. That comes with a lot of money. And it's super ironic because so far in my career, I've only used prop money for these music videos. Was it 2 legit music video prop money? This one prop money, and I'm doing that for a reason. Obviously, it kind of fit the stereotype, feed to it a little bit. But I've always had this running joke where, like, when I do blow up and I actually do have a lot of money, I'll put all that away and stop playing around. Just have like a $1 bill laying around every now and then as an Easter egg in my videos, just to show the irony of what it takes to what it means to actually have it. And yeah, so that's pretty much why I chose that. You know, all the dreams coming together, being a successful rapper, having the money, and being able to have the house, and provide for my family through the music. So that's why I chose the background that I chose, to make sure that I represent that and stay true to myself. The money's cool and all that, but you know, I got to think about why I'm really doing it, and I'm really doing it to provide for my family. So that's why the prop money becomes even more ironic. And I'm just gonna keep it that way till it gets super serious. So yeah, that's why. So it was super easy for me to kind of put it together. The curtains coming down, the fake windows in the back that are just fucking spray painted, money laying everywhere, obviously fake money, and yeah, those are the reasons. And then the fuzzy rug, that shit was a last minute addition to my set. So yeah, I thought it was dope, made me look pimpish. In my outfit, I just wanted to be comfortable. Fucking joggers and a sweater, dad hat. put on some nice J's, but other than that, I was just looking to be comfortable, man.
Ain't no one who can compete. They say the truth will set you free. If that's true, then I'm telling you that I'm the best by every degree. Heart below freezing.
I did not want to waste any time. Luckily, Jesse had all the sets already built, already ready to go. So all I had to do was set the cameras up in the places I needed, get ready with the handheld, and just kind of choose the shots with the handheld on the spot as it was going on, which made it difficult in some places because I didn't want to have like a shot in there where the camera was shaking around because I was trying to get my footings in area. But luckily, I had the two other cameras to fall back on while the main camera was transitioning movement to movement.
Working closely with Shiburado V was great. Working closely with Jordan was amazing. The way he brings his skill, and it's dope being at this mature age now, watching your friends chase their dreams while you're trying to chase yours at the same time. So it's a great experience. Because you know, in this whole grand scheme of everything, somehow our paths came back together. We knew each other in high school, just like I've known Matt Barr since high school. So um, it's pretty dope and it's really cool. Obviously, Jordan, me, since we go back, it was really easy for us to work together, to communicate. Um, Obviously, for me to introduce people who didn't know him to him, such as JD Payne and N-Emi. Um, so it was really great. He made our vision come to life, and I thank him for it. Um, and yeah, that's all I got to say, man. It was great.
So I had met Jordan a couple of times at a couple of different shows that we'd done, even if I don't remember or realize it, and I felt like an asshole for that. I apologize, Jordan. But you know, we had never really gotten to talk too much. You know, never really had a full conversation. I'm not sure about Emmy, but I know Jasu and Matt had both been friends with him in high school. So I was definitely, you know, more or less the odd man out in regards to working with Jordan. Um, but you know, we pretty much clicked instantly. We did my video shoot first, so you know, it was really it was a learning experience for both the Reinvented crew and for him. So we were kind of able to dip our toes in and see how this was going. And I think we clicked really well together. You know, it wasn't awkward at all trying to get to know Jordan. Um, you know, we were trying to give notes and everything, and just, you know, make everything the way that we wanted it to, and everybody just worked really well together. So you know, he's definitely someone that I would want to work with in the future, because you know, he's super easy to work with, super laid back, and you know, obviously, as you guys have seen, the product was outstanding.
It's great. Like, I've known Jordan for as long as I've known Josue. So, fuck. You know, Jordan's like a brother to me, and we kind of had this idea way before this that we were gonna work together. I was gonna work with him on his own shit, and then he just decided that, you know, he's like, hey, I want to help you out with your music and your company with Jasu and JD and Emmy. And yeah, I actually, you know, got him and Jasu to hook up again and to just, you know, link up and work together. And I think honestly, it's been a pretty big benefit to the business as a whole.
Jordan is a great guy. He was super easy to work with. He was great to get along with. He's open to suggestions. He did one hell of a job shooting and editing everything. And I will be honest, everybody that needs a videographer should definitely talk to Jordan, because it's a great experience. He's great to work with. Quality is impeccable, especially considering how much he asks for. And I would recommend him to everybody.
Working with 4 different artists wasn't as crazy as I thought it was gonna be, because you know, they all have their own style, but when it came to film and everything, they all pretty much, no one wanted anything crazy except for me. I wanted the red lights, which but other than that, it was real simple. No headaches on when we were shooting. No one was being a drama queen or anything like that, which was good. uh, so I've always liked movies and video and music videos and stuff. And uh, currently, where I'm at right now is not the greatest place I want to be in. And oh, when I started like just thinking of all these ideas for like short films and stuff I'd want to do, and what happened was saw a theme for a short film festival that was happening in Colorado Springs, and it kind of gave me that extra kick to try and make something for the next year's film festival and get my foot in the door of trying out filming, writing scripts, doing all that. And although I didn't, my short film I made did not get selected for the film festival, I am still um, filming has turned into a very fun process for me. And any project I can work on, whether it be my own or for someone else's, I'd be happy to jump onto and just, like I said before, just keep getting that experience, growing myself in filming and all that.
I think it is what it is. We put in a lot of work. We built these sets. Um, I think it was for 5 weeks straight. We were filming, building sets, putting everything together, and Jordan doing the editing on his side with the video, me editing the audio, um, and us just being able to put all that together, and put this together too. This behind the scenes video. So the experience was amazing. Working with Jordan was dope. Definitely gonna try to do more shit that is out of the norm for some people, because I think this is definitely different. It exists, but it's different.
Part of me feels like it's really different, but also part of me feels like it was also kind of familiar territory. And the reason that I say that is because anytime that Reinvented Music has had a live show at Sunshine Studios or the Black Sheep or anything like that coming up, me and Jasu, Emi's not always able to make it because he's got a kid to look out for. You know, he's a good dad. I talk a lot of shit, but he's a good dad. But so me and Jasu, at least once or twice before every performance, we would just go into his garage and treat the garage like it was the stage, and we'd put on our set list that we were doing and just treat it like it was a live performance. And so I pretty much wanted to bring that same energy into Pandora's Box, especially, and it helps because we did it in his garage. It was the same setting and everything, so it wasn't too different in regards to where we were doing it and the kind of energy that I wanted to bring, whereas actually executing it rather than kind of just not necessarily goofing around or anything, but not having to take it as seriously when we were doing those rehearsals. That was definitely different because it felt a lot more official, um, especially having all the lights on, having Jordan with the camera and everything. It was just a really cool experience overall, because it just felt really official,
Like it flowed really well. You know, me in the background when it came to like watching everyone else film, like I took a lot of photos, like I took a lot of pictures, and it's gonna be seen here. And that was really fun just to see what everyone else's experience were for them and just like capture those moments, because that's just something I like to do in my spare time. So to just be able to do that for the company, that shit itself is pretty fucking wicked.
Man, it was it was really fun. It was a little stressful. I'm not gonna lie, having to sit in front of a camera and spit for like 10 minutes straight. Um, I love how it turned out because I have a few oopsies in the video where I either mumble a word or two or I forget when to go in and I have to catch my breath and stuff like that. And again, just emphasizes the fact that it's a live video. It's the fact that we're on the spot and we have to give it our all in that very moment.
It was just like a cool experience because I'm still starting out as a videographer, director, whatever you want to say. But with doing it, all this gave me more experience, more learning. I definitely learned a lot of stuff, both during filming and post production. Just gain more knowledge so I can grow myself as a filmer and editor, and grow Shiburado video as a whole.
No, honestly, it's just nice working with all the guys again. Like, actually just being here and like not being in another state where I have to, work on telephone or work through, email or, video chat. Like, I'm actually here in person in the studio working constantly with these guys, every week. And it just feels nice to get into the rhythm of things. And, this project shows that, like, if all four of us come together, like, we can get some shit done. Really. We can get some good shit done.
All the videos were just like really. It was just a fun experience seeing all the sets that Josu had built up for everyone's different personality. Just seeing not seeing what goes in to reinvented music was very interesting to see because I'd always been a fan, but I never really knew how much work went into it, all the equipment, all the different, like, just everything about it. So it was fascinating to see, and to be able to help out on the video side of things was a really great experience.
It was stressful. It was fun. It was mildly annoying, like everything else in life. And I would honestly like to do it again in the future.
And yeah, all I know is Reinvent's gonna be killing some shit and doing what we always do, and we're not gonna stop. So that's definitely dope. I think that's good. Let's go.